So I've just come back from a trip. You can see I've got some fish in the tank. They've all done very well whilst I've been away. Nice clam tank. Got some coating on the rocks now. Got some cleanup crew in. Tank's pretty clean still. Didn't really get a major algae issue, not so far at least. You can just see some deposits on the rocks. You can see where the whitish areas where the snails have been. So overall, not too bad at all. Had a problem with this rock. This is a nice plate actually with an extended piece of branch, which kept breaking off. It's broken off a second time and it actually just snaps. So I think the flow's it's quite strong. As you can see, my flow pumps, I've got a fairly extensive flow, but it kept breaking off. So I've changed it now to this one. So you can see the color. That was the original color of the ceramics, and that's the color they are now after a few months of cycling. So just wait for that one didn't go through the same cycling process, so this one may well get some silicate algae. It'll leach somewhat, it just depends what the tank takes up. And you can see the difference, a little bit of, I don't know if you can make out the white patches where the snails have been, and there's a snail just in the base of there, and again you can see a snail just there with a whitish patch on the rock, but overall sort of brownish cover on the rocks. The fish are all doing very well. Cycling nice. I haven't put any corals in yet, although I've got some corals going through the QT tank. I did have a few problems with the early amount of corals, and I think it's nutrient related. It's difficult to keep nutrients in the tank. So as time goes on, I think I'll see if I can get some nitrate and phosphate into the tank, and hopefully that'll allow me just the corals to survive. But I've got a few little frags that have started to grow base out, so we're heading in the right direction, and I'll start to get possibly start with some frags, I think, given that I lost a few colonies of SBS early on in the quarantine system. It may have been the shipping process, but I think it's difficult getting nutrients into the tank early on. So as this starts maturing, it will start to get easier. And there you can see that that's the new rock. Put it in yesterday. Seems to be fairly stable at the moment. We'll see what happens as the flow hits it. I've got that Abyss cannon on variable flow, so it sort of ramps up and down, and then we'll see how this spot gets on. But I think I quite like the appearance of it. It was a really nice plate, to be honest. That was one of the best pieces in the tank, and it was nicely positioned. But I've got plenty of plates in the tank, so let's see how we get on with this piece, and hopefully I won't get too much problems with silicate algae on it. And then I might need to just fasten it in a bit stronger in the base with some milliput or epo putty, just to keep that in place. But I think quite like that, so should be okay. So that's just the tank progress. A few of the fish, chocolate mimic, my gem tang's in there, just hiding. I've got a regal angel tank bred, so see if he starts nipping when I put corals in. Got a clown tang, nice size, a yellow tang, about the same size as the gem, and I've got a guitartus, which I wasn't going to get because they're a bit mad, but I got tempted at the last minute, and he's got quite a character. And then I've got a Tamini tang in there with a good at algae. So those are the ones. I've got a little koi, just the usual kois, nothing special, just in the quarantine tank. I've got a few wrasse in there. I've got another small gem, just I wanted to have one in that tank. Can hand feed it. That'll stay in the frag tank. And then I've got a few more fish in the shop, which I'm going to bring in over the next few days. And I'll have them in quarantine for a while. So there we go. It's an update on the tank. It's all doing very well.